to Haji Naji Kabristan, which is the Arambagh of the Khoja community, the cemetery, the graveyard, the Kabristan of the Khoja community. This is amongst the oldest cemeteries of the Khoja community in Bhavnagar. In Mumbai, we had visited Mulla Qadir Mahfil, and if you all must have noticed, there was a plaque outside which said it was a Khoja heritage site. If you missed it, so just let me just remind you that we have 3 Khoja heritage sites in India. 3 sites we have declared as a Khoja heritage site. First being the Mulla Qadir Mahfil, second being the grave of Edilji Tanji Kaaba. Inshallah, we'll discuss about him when we are on our way to Ahmedabad. And the third is the grave of Haji Naji Sahab. When Mulla Qadir was in Bombay, he had 4 of his star students, which I had mentioned over there. One of them was Haji Naji Sahab. Haji Naji was born in Mumbai. His parents came from a village called as Sihor. Sihor is in Gujarat. His father and grandfather had a business of handloom and leather, a very flourishing business. When Mulla Qadir was in Bombay preaching the right mazhab of Islam, Ghulam Ali, that's Haji Ghulam Ali, that's Haji Naji, his name is Ghulam Ali Ismail. So Haji Naji got very much attracted to his studies and became one of his star pupils. He then went ahead for serving the community. There was a time when Haji Naji went for ziyarat with his parents. On his way back, he thought, let me serve the community, serve Islam, instead of just doing business. So he stepped out of his father's business and went into becoming a muballigh. He served Malegaon Masjid. Malegaon Masjid was one of the masjids that was established by Mulla Qadir, by his teacher. So he served there as for 1 year. After that, he was invited to Mahua by the Khojas of Gujarat. He went to Mahua and he was very much touched by the people over there, and also looking at their so-called Islamic knowledge. He was like, we need to work for these people, and that's why he moved from Mumbai to Gujarat, and he made Bhavnagar and Mahua his base. At that time, Mahua was not a big city as such. It was a big thing, but it was like a village, and Bhavnagar was the center. So he made Bhavnagar as his main center, and he started writing books while in Bhavnagar. One of the very famous books he wrote was Rahe-Najat, which even today people do have. And he also wrote the Duwano Majmuo, which is, is there in all of our Khoja houses. It's like the alternate to Mafatul Jinan kind of a thing. And Haji Naji, because of his work being done in Gujarat, he also was nicknamed as the Hilli of Gujarat. We're going right now to the Kabristan where his grave is. We'll recite Surah Fatiha. Plus, we will also be welcomed by the Haji Naji Memorial Trust at the Kabristan. They will also do a short presentation, a talk about his life history. They've also written a few, not munajat, but a few naats on Haji Naji, which they recite over there, which covers his whole life history. So something very exciting to know. And plus, the Haji Naji Memorial Trust runs a Haji Naji boarding, where there are a lot of kids, like the same thing like we saw in Tawheed Boys Hostel in Bhuj, something similar, which is not for orphans only, it's for orphans plus those who can't afford. Generally, those kids also do come here for the program, and they are the ones who conduct the program for us. However, today being a school day, they are all in school, so just a few of them will come here to run the whole program. So today, now we are going there to Haji Naji Kabristan. We will try to finish the program by 12 or maximum by 12:15, and then rush to the Khoja Mosque, that is in Amba Chowk area, our Juma Masjid of Bhavnagar. We'll inshallah be there before Zohar Namaz starts, so we can recite Zohar by Jamaat. After that, we are going for lunch at a place called as Zainabia Hall, which is just behind the mosque. So while the gents will go for namaz, ladies will go to Zainabia Hall, and you can recite Quran and namaz over there. So there's no Jamaat namaz, unfortunately, for ladies in Gujarat. After lunch, we will then be going to see Mannat Tower. We will go to Umme Kulsum Trust projects, and then we'll be going for handloom shopping. Now, while we are here, what is Umme Kulsum Trust? So basically, Umme Kulsum Trust is a trust run by a lady called as Parveen Bain. So Parveen Bain is like the Mother Teresa of Gujarat. She's been running many projects all by her own. She has an old age home for gents, old age home for ladies. She has a home for the differently abled children. She had started off a hausa some time back, which didn't run well, so she had to shut it down. She also runs a small scale industry where the widows come together to make papads, and that is sold in the market. Papad, popcorn, pickles, so just to make them earn an extra income and support themselves. So Parveen always hosts us for lunch, and she'll do a small 10-minute presentation on what is Umme Kulsum Trust and what are their activities. Looking at her work, the World Federation had just 2 months back sponsored a whole floor. I mean, what she's done is that she's building a 7-story building as a hostel for girls who come from different cities around Bhavnagar to study here. And again, it's like for those who cannot afford